stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air. Hi, I'm Jerry Bryant, and these are the lovely ladies of motorsports. And all this hour, we're going to have 60 minutes of action-packed excitement. All kinds of exciting things will happen. And we got the famous Bill Wildt, and we got all kinds of other good stuff that's happening all this hour. Motorsports Unlimited, 60 minutes of non-stop action. So let's go to the studio right now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Patty Borwitz, and this is the 1208th edition of Motorsports Unlimited. Today, we continue in our effort to show you some of the places there are to go snowmobiling in the Chicago area. Most people think you have to go up north to do some decent snowmobiling. You know, northern Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and points of north. There is no question they have great snowmobiling up there. The problem is, it takes at least a full day to get there and a full day to get back. Add in some riding time, and you're talking about a minimum of 3 days. Fine if you have the time, but if you don't, and Bill never does, how about some good places you can go that are close enough to the Chicago area to get there, ride, and get back in 1 day? A few weeks ago, we detailed how to use the Heritage Corridor snowmobile trail along the I&M Canal, about an hour and 15 minutes southwest of Chicago. A week later, we explained the Great Trail System, an hour and 15 minutes north of Chicago, accessible from the log cabin in Antioch, Illinois at Route 173 and Wilmot Road. The following week, we took you an hour and 20 minutes northwest of Chicago to Hoyers in Richmond, Illinois, and showed you how to take advantage of that trail system that actually connects to Wisconsin's famous Walworth County trail system. All of these snowmobiling areas can be enjoyed in 1 day. We know because Bill and his friends have done it many times. Today we're going to stretch it just a little bit. One of Bill's favorite places to snowmobile is Whitewater, Wisconsin. It sounds far, but it's actually only about 20 to 30 minutes further than going to Richmond, Illinois. In fact, you get to Whitewater the same way you would get to Richmond, except you keep going north after you get to Richmond. Yes, it takes another 20 or 30 minutes, but it's still doable within the time frame we're looking for. Bill says snowmobiling in Whitewater is as close as you're going to get in the Chicago area to going up north. We told you a little bit about one of the snowmobile adventures Bill and his friends had snowmobiling in Whitewater last week. In the event you'd like to try it yourself, let's check out how to go snowmobiling in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Peggy?
Rather than me trying to explain while sitting in the studio, why don't you just come along? Join all of us en route to Whitewater, Wisconsin. Come on, it'll be fun.
We are on Route 12 on the way to Whitewater, Wisconsin. We're still in Illinois right now, and as a matter of fact, we are approaching Richmond. I'm going to take a look and see. I haven't seen any snowmobile trail markings yet, and I have been looking for them. I want to see if that, we used to go to Hoyers when we did the McHenry trail system, and I want to see if that still exists. Somebody told me that the trail didn't go there anymore, and you had to go on to Twin Lakes, Wisconsin. Don't know, we're going to find that out in a minute. In any event, everybody is looking forward to it. Chuck, if you take your shot back out the window again, so the audience can see, guess what, girls? We've got what?
Snow! That's a snow, Bill!
Absolutely, we've got snow, and so we are on the way to go snowmobiling, and I don't know if Chuck can see it in his camera. If you go through the back windows, Chuck, you can probably see that we've got 3 snowmobiles on our flatbed trailer behind us, and we're looking forward to a good fun day. Now, I haven't shown you folks Whitewater, Wisconsin before. It sounds like it's a far distance away. It really isn't. It's only about a half an hour over the state line, the Illinois-Wisconsin state line, after you come out of Richmond. So it's not really all that far in Wisconsin. It just sounds like it's quite a distance away. But they've got a trail system up there. We told you the story before when John Kuchon used to be with us that we got lost one night in the thing they call Sherwood Forest. We got lost for about 3 hours in the middle of the night. But it's just an awesome trail system. I hope we're not going to get lost here in the middle of the day. Now, we've got girls that are brand new to snowmobiling. Gloria, tell the folks, you haven't done this at all yet. You don't even know how to ride.
Not at all, but I'm looking forward to learning for the first time.
Okay, this is going to be fun. You'll see, as I've said on Motorsports Unlimited before many times, that snowmobiles are among the easiest of all motorsport vehicles to drive, because other than steering the front handlebars, all you have is a brake and a throttle. Susan, I'm sure that you're already afraid. You don't want to waste any time, do you?
No, you know I'm afraid, Bill, but you're going to teach me, right?
Well, that's exactly right. We're going to teach you because I want people to know that anybody can do this, even somebody that's afraid. And I hope we're not bouncing our audience all over the place. We are en route right now. And of course, we have our resident expert with us, Peggy O'Donnell, who happens to be our pilot and happens to be our personal watercraft expert and water ski expert, but not quite a slalom skier yet, right, Peg?
No, not yet. We'll work on that next year.
Okay. Yeah, this year, that's right. Any advice for the girls?
Just listen, it's really easy, pay attention, just warm, you'll have a lot of fun.
I just don't want to flip over, Bill. That's all I don't want to do. Flip over.
No, you won't.
Well, nobody's going to flip over. Okay, we are, again, we're just making the turn now. We're still on Route 12. We're just entering the town of Richmond. That's the last town in Illinois. I don't know if it's officially the last town in Illinois. I always call it the last town in Illinois.
And really nice town.
And Richmond is real pretty. A lot of antique shops and all that. But we're in Richmond, and we'll come back to you shortly.
In a few moments, we were on the other side of Richmond, and Bill turned into Hoyer's parking lot because he saw snowmobiles being unloaded.
We just swung into Hoyer's here for a second. We've explained already that, in fact, we've had our audience out here several times going snowmobiling from Hoyer's. Is one of those places where they'll let you park. In fact, you can probably see the guys there unloading their sleds right now. And Chuck, if you can take the camera shot over to the right, I know it's hard. I'm going to stop here for a second. All the way over to the right, there's the trail system. The trail system goes from there. Well, as we've explained before, all the trail systems are totally interconnected, so you can go literally anywhere from there. We just wanted to swing in here for a moment. We've already shown you snowmobiling from this neck of the woods. This basically, we connected what I call the McHenry Trail system, but we're not going. We're going to Whitewater, Wisconsin today and take a look at those trails. I just wanted to stop and check with these guys and see if, in fact, the trail system's still hooking here at Hoyer's so that you can park here. And the guy said, yes, you can, but the trails just opened last Thursday. So the information I had 2 weeks ago from the guy was correct, but it was because the trail system wasn't open yet. The trail system is open
remember,
now,
this material was taped some 11 years ago, so keep that in mind when Bill says things like last week or a couple weeks ago. Hi, I'm May Chin. Let's continue because the important information about where to ride is still relevant.
Out of their regular business trade as humanly possible, because we wanted them to have a good experience with snowmobilers. So don't park right where their regular customers and all that stuff are going to be, because obviously then they won't let us do it after that. But in any event, where we're going now is Whitewater, Wisconsin. I want to show you the Sherwood Forest, although you guys ought to be concerned. Peggy, you remember the stories that we had with John Kuchin and myself and Bruce Bober that night of how lost we got and how we had them sitting there for hours waiting for us?
Well, now it's daylight. It's daytime, so we don't have to worry about that.
You're assuming that we won't get lost and it'll be nighttime.
I hope not. We trust you, Bill.
Okay, well, I have a feeling they're...
I don't trust you.
Pardon me?
I don't trust you, but Bill, remember when I was in Lake Geneva, I went parasailing? And I went water skiing in Lake Geneva, too. Well, I didn't. My kids did, but I went parasailing. Remember I told you?
That's right, you did, and I can't believe somebody as terrified of everything as you are. I can't believe you did that.
I know. I can't believe it either. I have pictures to prove it, so one day I'll show you.
One day we'll have to look at them. In any event, folks, we're on the way to Whitewater, Wisconsin. I just wanted to make that brief little stop by Hoyer's there just to see if the trail system was still connected there. It still is, so all that information is still good. And I did find out that Waz's, by the way, even though it's not Waz's anymore, they're still doing the snowmobile drag racing. So
as we've explained during the last few snowmobile shows, Waz's is no longer there, nor are his snowmobile drags.
Great snowmobiling places literally in every direction except east, because that's Lake Michigan, obviously. So we've got great snowmobiling going directly north, going directly south, going southwest, southeast, and we're showing you all of the places. Right now we're going to Whitewater, Wisconsin, which is kind of northwest, and I think you're going to be really fascinated with this trail system.
From all the stories Bill and the guys have told us about Sherwood Forest in Whitewater, Wisconsin, we were anxious to see it for ourselves. In about 25 minutes we arrived at Frank's Marine, where the guys always park to begin their whitewater adventure.
First of all, folks, let me introduce you to my new best friend. What a terrific dog we've got here. How you doing, buddy? What's his name?
Riley.
Riley? It looks like you've seen a few years and a few meals.
Oh yeah, he's the guard dog and he never lets a meal go by.
Boy, I don't blame him. What a terrific dog, and these snowmobiles that are running around here don't seem to bother him a bit. First of all, let me tell our audience that we are at Frank's Marine in Whitewater, Wisconsin, although I have a feeling this isn't Whitewater.
Well, we're actually right out of Whitewater, about 5 miles, and we're out by the entrance to the state park.
Yes, as a matter of fact, even though we call this going to Whitewater, this is really not quite Whitewater, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to thank Frank formally. He is another one of these wonderful people that owns these businesses that doesn't get anything out of it, that lets us use this facility to park our cars and trailers. Chuck, if you would, broaden your shot. You'll see down here we've got snowmobilers unloading their snowmobiles and all that and pulling in with their trailers and all that sort of thing. And I know that normally when I come here, I'm not sure I've ever met Frank, maybe talked to him once before. Normally I don't get here until midnight or so, and the place is totally dark, and it's okay with these guys to park your cars and trailers here, and I want to formally thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll tell you something, this is a wonderful place to go snowmobiling, and I want to explain for a moment, and as a matter of fact, I better do the polite thing first. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm Frank Elreddo. I've been here my whole life and try to cater to the snowmobilers and the fishermen in the summer.
I was going to say, we started our camera shot on the boat side, and it was a little bit of a joke because there's no boats today.
Too many boats right now.
Interestingly enough, I'm not exactly sure why this is a marina because there's no water around here either.
Well, actually, you just go about 2 minutes up the road this way or 2 minutes down the road that way. You're at real nice boat launch facilities. And
what's the lake?
Whitewater Lake.
Oh, there's a lake called Whitewater.
Yeah, 640-acre lake.
All right, now we're going to get into it. First of all, when they brought me here today, I came down a totally different road. Every other time that I've been here, and it's usually been at night, Chuck, shoot your camera shot down here. I've come in on this road. Well, today, keep going, Chuck, all the way around because somehow they brought us in on that road, and I'm all twirled around. Tell me, from Chicago, coming up Route 12, how do we get here?
Coming up Route 12, you would go west on Highway A until you come to County Trunk P to the north, and we're basically only about 20 miles from the border.
Right, about 20-25 miles. It's not right. It sounds real distant, but it really isn't that far. And this is another wonderful snowmobile area, and I want to tell you about the first night that we came out here. Somebody had told us about this place. We came up here, and you have to understand, it's pitch dark. It's at least 11:30 at night, might be closer to midnight, and we're right over there with our van. We're unloading our vans, and you can see our breath, the smoke, and it's a real eerie thing because it's so dark and all that. And here comes a group of snowmobilers that are apparently part of the snowmobile club here. What's the name of the club around here?
The Whitewater Snow Seekers.
And once again, we want to acknowledge these. Without the snowmobile clubs, we would not have a sport. These people are wonderful. Mark the trails, keep the trails grooved. Do you believe the work that they do?
Oh, it's a fantastic job.
I can think of nothing else in our society that the guys that work as hard gets a little out of it and do it year after year after year. And mainly, all they ask of us is stay on the trails, right?
That's all they ask.
Stay on the trails.
And join a club.
And also join a club. Doesn't make any difference which one. These clubs all interact with each other. Make sure you're a member of the club. I don't care if you ever go to a meeting. Kind of help pay for the gas it takes to mark these trails. And then at the end, they have to give the landowners, they give permission, give them a little party at the end of the year. They do the same thing up here?
Yeah, they do. It's a good thing for the landowners. Keeps them happy. It keeps everybody happy.
Absolutely. And that's the idea. We want this to work for everybody. But in any event, we're standing out here one night, and it's pitch dark, and the snowmobile club comes along, and they saw that we were new, and we were asking, where can you go? And Chuck, if you would, take your camera shot down the road here now, and I want you to follow. You can't see that it's yellow, but there's two signs with arrows on them going there, and you can see snowmobile tracks right. In fact, you see a snowmobile coming from that direction right now. And they said, well, you take that trail right down there, go down about a quarter of a mile, and make a right turn. Is that correct?
You can go right or left. The left trail is a club trail. It takes you out to Rice Lake and then to Whitewater Lake, and the trail to the right takes you up to the state forest, a place you've been lost before.
That's what I'm getting to. They told us and Chuck, I don't know if you can come in on the map here. Can you come in at all close on that? Can you see that at all? Okay, you see this area right up here where it looks like it's a little grainy, like it's little dots with a pencil or something. They call that Sherwood Forest, and these guys told us, they said, we're going to give you directions. You can pull back out, Chuck. We're going to give you directions. You go down here, make the right turn. It'll be a nice 45-minute trip to Whitewater, and then you can come back, and that'll make a nice trip for you tonight. But whatever you do, make all left turns. Don't get into that forest because you'll get lost at night. Well, it worked fine. We made all left turns like the man suggested, and we got to Whitewater, and we got some fuel and all that, and then we came back. I won't go through the whole story. It's a wonderful story. One of the guys broke down and all the rest of it, but we won't go through all that. But the point was, we thought we were making all right turns on the way back. Somehow we ended up in the forest. And I'm telling you, first of all, the reason I'm bringing you up here is because I want you to see this forest. This is beautiful, beautiful snowmobiling. But at night, there's no way out.
Well, it was an old abandoned subdivision, and it's like a Le Mans race course in there.
It's so much fun. Running in this thing is so much fun. You're going to really enjoy seeing this. That's why I wanted you to know about this area up here. But everybody says make sure you get the hang of it in the daylight before you try it at night.
It's a good idea.
You agree? A lot of people get lost in
this? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they really do. A lot of people get divided. Well, one other point I want to mention here, and then we're going to get to, because we've got, Peggy, can you hold that for a minute? We've got a lot of work here to do today. I want to mention that for one of the first times on Motorsports Unlimited, I am not wearing a tie, and I want to show you what I am wearing. I am proudly wearing my Toys for Tots sweatshirt. I'm going to tell you something. I'm sorry?
Jeans, Bill, I didn't recognize you.
Right, I'm wearing the Toys for Tots sweatshirt, and I'm wearing it proudly, and I'm doing it for a reason. I've come to learn, since we did the 2 shows with Toys for Tots, we did the parade and we did the party, and I've come to learn what wonderful, wonderful work these people do. It's absolutely incredible. It's not just a motorcycle parade. You have to understand it takes months to plan a parade with 15,000 to 18,000 motorcycles participating right through the streets of Chicago. But in addition to all that planning, when the parade is over, it's not over then. These guys break up into committees to wrap these thousands and thousands and thousands of presents, but they're still not done. After that, these things have to be distributed to nonprofit organizations, to people's private homes that have been identified as needing a helping hand, to make it possible for people to have a Christmas that wouldn't have had a Christmas. On Christmas Eve, I was invited to go down to Weiler's Children's Hospital in Chicago, way on the south side of Chicago, and guess what? The Toys for Tots Santa was arriving there by helicopter to bring toys for the kids. As a matter of fact, Chuck, you don't have to go after this. I want to put this little piece of tape in here right now so that just so you understand part of what happens to the toys that you folks donate. I'm not sure if the kids really knew what was going to come out of that helicopter, but as soon as they saw the red suit, boy, did they get excited. Now, this is just one of the ways that the Toys for Tots group distributes the gifts that are donated. They do it by truck, they do it by car, they do it by motorcycle. Remember, these are bikers. They do it by motorcycle too. That's right. Let's listen in.
Oh, look at here, yeah.
The entire hospital staff gets excited when the Toys for Tots group arrives because they know the look that it's going to bring to the kids' faces. Look at this now. There's the Toys for Tots Santa starting to distribute the gifts. This is really a wonderful, wonderful effort by just a terrific, terrific group of people, and I hope the entire city of Chicago supports these efforts. Pretty special, I'm sure you'd agree. Now you know why I'm so proud to wear the Toys for Tots sweatshirt. These people do a wonderful, wonderful job, and that was only one of the stops that the Toys for Tots Santa, that was Christmas Eve. That was only one of the stops that he made on Christmas Eve. And it wasn't just Christmas Eve, it was all the days leading up to it since the parade and the party occurred and they'd gathered up all the toys. These people, if I ever ran into a group in my life that deserves some attaboys, it's the entire Toys for Tots bunch. Now, having gotten that out of the way, my question to you, Frank, is I've got 2 girls here now that have never ridden a snowmobile before, and I want to do a little thing like in a little small area to teach them the controls and all that. Is there someplace real close here we can do that? How about maybe on the other side of that tree, or is that a taboo?
That'd be fine.
That's okay over there?
Fine, sure.
Okay, once again, we want to thank, oh, and you say there's another place that lets you park the cars and trailers if you're full.
Yeah, it's Salvo's Restaurant out on Highway 12.
You're calling it Salvo's, but you said Whitehorse before.
Salvo's Whitehorse.
Okay, what would be on the sign, Whitehorse? Or?
Whitehorse.
Okay, it's Whitehorse, Salvo's Whitehorse Restaurant, right. And it's on the other side of Whitewater?
Right. He's right off the trail also. He's got a big parking facility. He's real happy to have people come up, park.
Okay.
He's got motel options for them. So it's a one-shot deal there also.
Okay, so if Frank's Marine's parking lot is full, you know that
we should tell you Frank's Marine is no longer there, but there are several other places in Whitewater that are snowmobile friendly. Just ask.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to get this done today, but because I want to show this shoreward forest, and it's a wonderful area to snowmobile. But if the girls are up for it and they get enthused about it, maybe we'll make the trip all the way to Whitewater and back then. It's about 45 minutes leisurely.
By sled, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes.
You don't get lost.
Yeah, it was 3.5 hours for us, but trust me, it was a great deal of fun. Anyhow, Peggy, what do you think? We got to get these girls going?
Yes, we do. We have to get moving.
You look a little nippy.
It's cold.
Okay, Riley, buddy, I want to thank you for all the help in this interview. You've been a terrific sport, and folks, don't go away because the fun's just going to begin now.
I was really anxious to get on the trails, but first we had to teach Gloria and Susan how to ride.
Well, we're in Wisconsin. As we've explained, we're in Whitewater, Wisconsin, so we've got to be here for one of two reasons. Either we're going to go boating or we're going to go snowmobiling. Which one do you think it's going to be?
I want to go snowmobiling.
I think we're going to go snowmobiling because I don't think we have anything but ice out there for the boats, even though the Pegster is dying to go slalom skiing, right?
Yes, if you would let, or excuse me, my mouth is cold. If you were out there on a boat and you had an ice pick, you'd be making way for us to be on a boat right now in this weather. I know you, Bill.
Oh, exactly. Except we've got cool stuff. Snowmobiling is folks, we are so lucky in this area. Snowmobiling is every bit as cool as boating is, and it's just a matter of what season. Somebody had a question?
Don't give them any ideas, Peg. Next week hasn't come yet.
That's exactly. We haven't planned next week's show yet. Okay, what we are here to do right now, and Chuck, if you would, I want you to pan your shot down there and show where the trail goes. And we just explained to the audience that this great Sherwood Forest, as they call it, is down there maybe a quarter of a mile, and make a right turn and go another quarter of a mile or so, and we get into the forest, and it's very, very cool. But before we do that, we've got a couple of girls that don't know how to drive sleds, that have never ridden sleds before, and so we're going to give them a little lesson here. Gloria, if you would, pick up the helmet, please. All right. Snowmobiles are among the easiest vehicles there are to drive. Gloria, why don't you go ahead and sit right on it here. I'm going to run the controls through for you. Go right ahead. All right. The only thing you have to worry about on a snowmobile is obviously, watch your gloves, obviously you have to steer it, okay? They're not going to steer easy when they're sitting still because you got that long ski that's laying in the snow. So if you try to turn it, when they move, they turn much easier. The steering moves much easier. You also have this lever, which is the brake, and the thumb throttle. Very important. The brake and the thumb throttle. That's it. That's all there is to it. Now, what does that remind you of, Susan?
Jet ski.
Right. Well, you mean the personal watercraft.
Personal watercraft.
Right. Exactly. All right. It's almost the same, except the personal watercraft doesn't have a brake, obviously. All it has is the thumb throttle. Now, in order to start these, some of them have electric starts, some of them have manual starts, most of them have manual starts. This one has a manual start. What we do is we turn the key on in this particular model, and I bet you can even start it, and give the starter a pull. Real hard pull. Go ahead. Well, that's not going to get it, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, can you get it or no? Want me to do it? She's going to try it. There we go. Okay, you don't have to do it quite that hard. Very good, very good. Now, I'm not going to have you put the helmet on right away because I want you to be able to hear me. So, Peggy, if you would, hold the helmet, please. Of course, you always wear a helmet on a snowmobile. Two reasons. Number one, it's cold, and the helmets keep you warm. Number two, they give you the eye protection. And number three, it's like a motorcycle. You fall off of one of these things, you can get hurt. You should always wear a helmet. What we're doing here, we're doing like 2 miles an hour, and I want them to be able to hear me. So go ahead and sit on the sled. Now the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and give it a little throttle, move forward a couple of feet, and then just let go of the throttle. All you have to worry about is the throttle. Give it a little throttle, and then when it moves, let go. Okay, now what you're doing, we've got you on powdered, very soft powdered snow, so the track spun, sunk down, caught something hard, and then bit. Do the same thing again. A little throttle, go a few feet and stop. Don't worry about the brake. Okay, one more time. I hope I don't run out of microphone cable here. Are you getting the idea?
I got the idea. I'm ready to go.
No, I don't want you to go yet. I want you to go forward another couple of feet and stop. Good. Hold it there. Now, one more thing I want you to learn before I have you actually go anyplace, and don't veer too far over here because I want you to make a big turn. I want you to have as much room to turn as possible. This time, go a couple feet and stop with the brake. Okay? Go ahead. Have you got the idea? Now I want you to make a nice easy turn. Now listen to me. A nice easy turn right here, right around. Take this path here, go behind Chuck, and come right over here. And then we're going to give Susan a chance. I'm out of mic cable. What do you want?
I can barely hear you. You want me to go behind Chuck?
Yes, behind Chuck. Okay, nice, soft, easy turn here, and I'm sure you can do it. Go ahead now. I think she's got it. That's the idea. She's trying to avoid that incline. She doesn't realize that's where the real fun is the inclines. But she'll learn. She'll learn. She'll learn. That's the idea. She'll learn. She'll learn. And you can come back over here, Chuck. I don't want to wind you around in a circle. That's okay. And she's coming back. Peggy, step out of the way. Grab the helmet, please. Step out of the way. Come on. Keep right on coming. Stop. Okay, any questions?
No.
Is it easy?
It's easy, just like the watercraft.
Just like the watercraft, very easy. Now if we can get Susan over here, we have Susan give a chance. Very nicely done, yes.
I do want to add though, you might want to go a little slow before you get the hang of it.
Always do it.
And then...
Always, when folks, this is Motorsports Unlimited. I can tell you about motorsports. There's lots of things I don't know about in this life, but motorsports I know about. Machines can hurt you. They can also be your friend. It's like fire. Fire can burn your house down. It can also heat your house. With motorsport, you have to use your head. So you start everything a little bit at a time and get the idea. Okay?
Also, when doing a turn, I had to go a little bit wider because I almost didn't make it around the turn.
Well, you don't know the fun part was going down in the ravine, but you don't know that yet. But that's okay.
I don't want to do that my first time just yet. I'm not that.
Okay, let's give Susan a chance now. Go ahead and step off. Go ahead, Susan. Did you hear the instruction I gave?
No.
Okay. I want you to go forward about 2 feet. Just use the throttle. Go forward about 2 feet and let go of the throttle and stop. Okay, go ahead. Stop. Okay, let me get my mic cord here, folks. Okay, I want you to do that again, nice and easy. Okay. Just go nice and easy. Let go. Okay, how did that feel?
That feels okay.
Okay, now when you go forward, I want you to stop using the brake.
Oh, this?
Yes. Okay, go a couple of feet and then use the brake. Go ahead.
Okay.
How does that feel?
It feels fine.
Try it one more time. Okay, I'm out of microphone cable now.
Kind of like a bicycle, Bill.
Okay, now what I want you to do is the same thing she did. Turn a little bit right so you can give yourself a nice turn. Make a nice soft turn, come all the way around and come back. Can you do that?
I think so, I'll try.
Go nice and carefully. I'm right here with you. Go ahead, nice and easy. Easy. I got a feeling I'm going to have to give her a little hand because I don't think she's going to be able to make this turn here. I don't think so. I better go and help her.
Gotta go get her before she gets
I did
hurt.
very well. See, it didn't look like Susan had gone quite through my tracks. It would have been a little bit easier if she had followed my tracks and my path, because I almost just didn't make it also.
It is hard to turn the snowmobiles, and you have to really realize you have to watch how you turn. It is hard.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little difficult also. You have to take the turn a little bit easy, just like on the watercraft. Especially at the first time.
Look at this, Bill. Bill, show off.
Here comes Bill. So
there goes a nice.
Really done. These snowmobiles really look like they've been riding for a long time. Friendly ones too. As you can see, they got friendly snowmobilists out here.
Really nice. There seems to be a camaraderie in snowmobiling that contributes to the fun. Now let's get back to Susan's lesson.
All right, Susan had a little trouble making the turn because she learned one of the first things that snowmobilers have to learn is they don't steer real good, do they?
No, it's really hard to make those turns. I got stuck there, Bill.
No, what you have to do is use your head. You always want to make as wide of a turn as possible with a snowmobile. Otherwise, you have to get off and drag the back end over or the front end over, and that's too much work. You learn after you drag them a few times not to do it. Now go ahead like I told you, swing around over there. Just go nice and easy. Nice and easy. Just go nice and easy. You know what you're doing. Go ahead. Keep going. timid. Susan's very timid about things. Come on, Susan. Come on, kid. She's very timid about things. Come on, Susan. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. And stop. Now, is that so hard?
Yes, but I did it!
Oh, it wasn't that hard at all. Anyway, folks, we got one more thing to do, and then we're going to get into this trails. I want you to have a look at this forest. It's really great. We got one more thing to do, and then we'll be on our way.
Actually, two things, Bill. You almost forgot to let us introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Susan Russell.
I'm Peggy O'Donnell.
And I'm Gloria Walters.
Thank you, girls. Now, let's get back to the final thing Bill wanted to do.
Well, we're actually ready to get going now here, finally. It's quite an ordeal here today. Believe me, it's a lot more fun to go snowmobiling when you're not doing television. Am I right, Bruce?
Oh, absolutely, Bill. It's a chore doing this.
It's really a chore. It makes a chore out of it and everything. And our Sharp Eye viewers are going to recognize our AMA Director of Competition. Is that the appropriate title?
Dirt Track Manager.
Dirt Track Manager for the American Motorcyclists Association. And I understand you've got an announcement to make of a national going to be held here for the first time?
Yes, another brand new one in the state of Illinois at the Route 66 Speedway in Joliet, Illinois.
Remember, this material was originally taped 15 years ago. The motorcycle flat track races they are talking about were terrific, but they have already come and gone.
All right, Bill.
You got to see it. And by the way, tell the folks who you are, because I'm sure I didn't.
Bruce Bober.
Okay, this is my old friend Bruce. You've seen him on the program many, many times. Who you haven't seen on the program before, I don't think, is Joey. Have we had you on the program or not, Joey?
No.
Tell the folks who you are.
Joey Bober.
And you're the son?
Yes.
Okay, we've had his sister on the program. Do you know that?
Yes.
How many years ago?
I don't know.
It must be 10 years ago.
Easy 10. She's 15 now. I think she was like 4 or 5 when her and Tressa did it together.
We're going to have to get the two of them back on the show, and then we'll embarrass them and run a little clip, because we had little miniature costumes for them and everything. It was really cute. You know, they were only 4 years old at the time, and now they're grown-up women almost. And the last person that we haven't, I don't think, Don, have we had you on the show before or no?
No, not yet, Bill.
Okay, well, we have had him on the show. This is my friend Merlin's Muffler. You see, Merlin's Muffler is one of our underwriters all the time. This is you, but your real name is Don French.
That's correct.
And the reason I dragged him out here is this guy is hard. It's like pulling teeth to get him to come on camera. But look what he does for us all the time. These two snowmobiles, these two Yamaha 440s, these are his, and we've used them on our show probably a half a dozen times already, maybe more. These are extra sleds that you've got.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to use them whenever you need them for a show. It's just nice to see people get out and enjoy snowmobiling.
You're exactly right. Now, the question is, why do you have extra snowmobiles? I should say that in the back there, he's got a VMAX. Bruce has got a, in fact, they've got 3 VMAXs back there. Why do you have these older Yamahas?
Well, that's what you start out on a 440 and then work your way up from there, get into something a little bit faster, a little bit smoother riding. And don't lose the old ones, because you've got friends that want to go along. It's nice to have something for them to ride. That's exactly my point. We've talked about this a lot. Nothing is any, I don't care if it's boating or racing or whatever it is, or going on an airplane, nothing is any fun by yourself. So this is wonderful when guys are in a position. I know I just got rid of all my old snowmobiles. At one time I had 9 snowmobiles. They're all older ones, but at least I could put people on sleds. It's pretty cool if you get your friends to go. Sure is. And usually they get hooked and then they get their own. Hopefully they do. Yeah, that's eventually what happens. Anyhow, Don, I want to publicly thank you. I appreciate it. He's made this available to us so many times. And one more thing I want to take care of, and then I promise you, we're going to get on the trail here and we're going to go. This, by the way, folks, is a television camera. Chuck, if you would come in on this thing. This is a little Sony Hi8. I don't know if they call it a Handycam when it's a professional version, but it's what it is. Yeah, Handycam, Hi8 Handycam. The footage that you saw earlier on the program that we shot in the van was shot with this little thing. Typically, when I do the program, we shoot everything on 3/4 inch. We don't have a shot of what our equipment looks like, but believe me, it's several times larger than this. The problem is I'm always disappointed when we do snowmobile shows that I can never really bring you in on the action and show you how great snowmobiling is, like the woods that we're going to go to, and I hope we get to the woods. Bruce, by the way, do you remember the woods that I'm talking about? Get over here. Do you remember that night?
Yes, we even talked about it on the way up here, Don and I, about losing our buddies out there and just having a good old time. So you're going to avoid them like the plague today, right? Oh, no. No, we're going right to them. We're going right to them. We're going right to this. You're going to see this is a great set of woods. The problem is, with our big cumbersome equipment, we can't show you any of that. So today we're trying an experiment. We're going to take this along with a wireless mic. I don't know if the stuff will freeze up.
This was at least a decade before we acquired a high-tech digital helmet cam that changed everything. As you can see, Bill is excited about what they might be able to do with the much smaller television camera.
to give up, yes.
Are you going to get a shot of Chuck with that big old clunky thing?
Now, how can I do that?
I'll hold the mic for you while you go ahead and videotape.
Oh, no, we're not ready to tape on this. We've got to put tape in it and all the rest of it. But in any event, folks, but good thought. Maybe I ought to show the people a picture of what it looks like for the full equipment. In any event, are you guys ready for Sherwood Forest?
I'm ready to go. You guys, they both got to ride at least a little bit. I've got that urge. I want to go. Yes, let's go.
Tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. I was anxious to go. So, with Chuck, with the little camera, precariously seated backwards on Bill's sled, we were on our way.
All right, folks, we're off now. This is a bunch more work to do for television than it is when you go out just to enjoy yourself, trust me. Now, we're traveling down that little piece of road until we get to the right-hand turn to turn into the trail to go to Sherwood Forest, where we tell everybody, don't go there at night until you've been there during the day, because you get lost forever. It is like a maze that you can't get out of, and it's huge, but it's also very, very cool. Hope the girls are keeping up. I know in just a couple of seconds here we're going to be finding a place where we make a right-hand turn.
Chuck is sitting backwards on Bill's sled. Bill can't see what he's taping, and Chuck can't see what's coming.
Ah, yes, I see it up ahead. There's the place where we're going to make the turn.
That's right. Those were Chuck's feet high in the air as a bump tossed him off the back of the snowmobile. No harm done, but they decided to shoot with Chuck sitting forward as we made the right turn, with Gloria leading and Susan and I behind her.
Technology has come a long way since then. We now have a helmet cam that provides great pictures and sound and doesn't need a cameraman. But we do need snow. It's 56 degrees as we take this update. I hope there is snow when it airs.
Well, that was quite a hill we just climbed. I wish the girls would pick up just a little bit of speed. We're letting them lead now. Faster, but I hope the audience is taking a look at this absolutely beautiful scenery. This is truly a winter wonderland. Putting their hands up, I'm not sure why. This is absolutely beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. Jostling you at home, folks, and sending you all over the place. But this is the only way we can really bring you pictures of what it's like. This is the only way we can do it. And I just hope you can really appreciate the absolute beauty of this. Those things, the only way you can see this is by snowmobile. There's no other way. This is really too far off in the wilderness to get there by hiking. And by the way, as pretty as this is not the Sherwood Forest that we're talking about. We're on the way there. I can tell you that while we're shooting this, I've got poor Chuck riding on the back with me, and this is an SRX Yamaha that wants to go 100 miles an hour all the time, and it's for one person. It's a one-person seat, poor Chuck is holding on for dear life. He's been off once already, and to his credit, he popped right up and said, "That's okay, I can do it, I can do it." Now we're popping out here into a clearing. Popping out into a clearing.
We were having a ball. The weather was perfect and the trail was beautiful. Now it was time for me to narrate. Here we go. There. Look how pretty it is in here. Isn't it lovely? Now we're on a roll. This is fun. We're having a great time here at Whitewater. How do you like it back there, Susan? I've got my backseat driver, Susan Russell.
Peggy and Susan are on the second sled in your picture. Peggy is doing the talking.
Okay, it's getting bumpy over here. We're turning the corner. These trails are just wonderful. Of everybody involved putting these trails together and maintaining them, I give a big salute to. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be doing this right now. Here we go! Ooh, here we go. I like this part. Look how pretty this is! Isn't this gorgeous? We're like in a wonderland. Look at this. Look up. It's hard to pay attention while you're doing when you're looking around at how scenic it is. Ooh, I wish we could just stop right now and just stand there and look around us. This is my favorite part so far. Isn't it yours? Do you like it? Safe with me? Do you feel safe with me? Good. Okay. Here, no problem. I don't mind. Oh, here comes some snowmobilers. Let's get over to the right. Hi, guys. Here comes some more. That was just gorgeous in there. Hey, everybody's friendly. We're all waving to each other. Everybody's really friendly out here. You know, if there was something wrong, there's something wrong, they're out there to give you a hand. They'll be more than happy to help you. Again, here's the beautiful trees with snow-covered branches. Oh, look how pretty! Look at this! Ooh! I don't want to go home! Ooh, this is really icy under here. I could stay out here for hours. I could stay out here all day. I just don't know how Bill did it at night. He went here at night. Woo. Just remember the body English. Go which way the turn is going. Huh? Oh, it's okay. I wonder how wide these trails really are. Look at down there. No, I don't. Woo, don't look down. We're up on a hill. Look at that. Ah! It was beautiful, so Bill decided to stop to give you a better look.
The scenery here is just absolutely gorgeous, and I had to stop just to show the audience. And Peggy, I wasn't listening to what you said. Obviously, I couldn't hear it. It's on tape, but apparently you're pretty taken with it too.
Oh, it's just breathtaking. You've got to be here to see it, really.
Say it again.
You've got to be here to see this. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
Matter of fact, we've got sleds that are going to come by right now. I hope they can see. Oh, no, it's our friends, the Bobers, and Don French is probably behind them. Chuck, if you would, I want you to take your camera shot to where we just came from over here. Girls, just stay put for a second. I want to point out to the audience, this is the trail that we just came through just now. And if you would, Chuck, I want the audience to see that this goes up high over here. And now I want to come over here, and girls, I want you guys to come with me around the front of the sled, please. Come on down here. I don't know if this is visible on camera, if this works this well on camera, but in order for you to see it, I want you guys to just come with me. This is, come on guys, come on, guys, that's good. This is absolutely beautiful scenery. I'm going to tell you something. You haven't had a thrill until you've done this at night, blasting through these trails at speed.
I was talking about that when we were driving, and I was talking to Susan. She couldn't hear a lot of what I was saying. Sorry, folks, but it's just, I can't believe how it is in here right now. I can't imagine doing it in the evening.
Oh, it's like a whole brand new arena. It's just totally brand new.
Are you going to get us home when it's still light?
Well, we're not sure about that. We have the champions here, and Chuck, if you turn your shot around, you've got the champion there, the taller of the two. He's the champion at getting folks lost. Bruce, show him your famous thing on that sled real quick so we know when you're lost. Show us your famous thing. He comes to a street corner. As soon as he does it more than once, oh no, his head's going back and forth like one of those little dogs in the window with the dingle balls on it and everything. And we know, oh no, he's got us where he doesn't know where we're at again. But we always have a lot of fun. We always have a good time.
Honestly, I could stay out here all day just driving.
This is wonderful. This goes for, and I want to tell you something, folks. Again, we are just a little under 2 hours from Chicago. Just a little less than 2 hours it took to get here, and I'm telling you, it's like being in Montana. This is absolutely, and it goes for miles and miles and miles. It's wonderful, and I think we better keep going. What do you think?
I think so. I'm just glad we're here and able to experience what we're seeing today. It's just awesome.
Susan, you want to do a little narrating this time?
It's absolutely spectacular, and I was also thinking of like the forests in Europe too. It just, you could be anywhere right now. You wouldn't even know that you're in Wisconsin. You could be anywhere that's beautiful in the whole world. Switzerland, wherever. It's just gorgeous.
Cool. Battle of the Bulge. We're in the the valley, or the what was it? What Battle of the Bulge? What am I talking about? I can't. My lips are frozen. Go ahead.
I'd like to add to it, anybody that hasn't tried snowmobiling should do it. It's great. I'm having a wonderful time here. It's beautiful.
That's right. Your first time. You enjoying it?
Yes, I am, definitely.
Okay, pretty soon we're going to get Susan on to try driving too, but right now, do you want to narrate? You want to have the mic and try narrating a little bit?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, now it's going to be Susan's turn.
We want to remind you that we're still not in Sherwood Forest. This is just the trail that leads there. Let's see what Susan thinks.
This is really beautiful, especially going for the first time here. So I recommend it to everyone, especially when there's all this snow. It looks so pretty with all the trees all covered like this. The hill's gonna be kind of tricky though. And you gotta make sure you watch out for the other snowmobilers who are coming. Oh, here's a sign, slow, and there's a curve. Now, I guess those signs kind of help you know what's up ahead, but they're probably really hard to figure out in the nighttime. Here we're going down big hills, like a roller coaster, like, woo! There's even leaves on the ground here. I guess there's the trees that kind of held on to the leaves. Here we're going up the bend here. There's another sign, slow. You gotta give credit to all the people who work on these trails and maintain them. And these signs are very important because they alert you what's ahead. Oops. Gloria's got to speed up a little bit. Beating her. Okay, we gotta get around here. We got a pass Bill right now. Little drag strip here. Here we are. Well, it's incredibly beautiful. And girls, anyone who wants to go out there with their boyfriend or husband and be a passenger, go for it. Because it's just as much fun just hanging out in the back, especially if you got a good driver like Peggy. It's really fun. It could be real cozy too. That's fun. Keep each other warm. And here we go, making a turn. I think it's time to put my visor down. Now I feel the cold wind. Lots of hills here. Like I was saying to Bill earlier, signs are in English. I really like it most when we're in the forest, because then you really feel the beauty of the snow and all the trees. This is more of a cleared out area here. One of the most important things I know are the safety aspects. We should probably all stay to the right so that if other oncoming snowmobilers are coming, we can have a chance for them to pass or for us to pass. But I notice it's typical for people just to drive right in the middle. Here we are, giving a wave. Yeah. This is a great activity. It makes winter lots of fun. It brings out the adventure in you. I remember this poster when we were at the other snowmobile place and we went to the show and it said, "Unleash the Beast." I guess that's what we're doing right now. Part of the fun is not knowing what's coming up. Ah! There's a bump! Now there's lots of clusters of snow in these here. So different places look different. Now we're up on a height here so you can see the whole panoramic view. We're getting close to the general road. I like it better when we're in nowhere's land where you can't see where you are, you're just in the middle of nowhere. But I guess once in a while it's good to know you're back with civilization. Cars are coming by now. We see more snowmobilers up ahead. We're headed right now to...
Bill wouldn't let the girls cross the highway by themselves, so he and Chuck drove the sleds across, and we started on our final stretch to Sherwood Forest. This time, Gloria observes.
Oh, I see the Whitewater sign. We're not going that way. We're going to the Sherwood Forest. I'm sure the Whitewater Trail has nice scenery also, but the Sherwood Forest is the route that we're going to take today. As we approach this hill up here,
Gloria's on the lead sled in your picture doing the talking.
different hills, types of trees and snow.
Remembers how thrilled he was back in 1997 when they taped this. He felt the little camera was a huge asset, providing us with a way to really show you the joy of snowmobiling.
Stay to the right, little curve, careful. Go up this hill here. And lots of different hills and curves. And you got
Before we run out of time, we want to acknowledge the fine folks who made this updated episode of Motorsports Unlimited possible. Janine Lauschat, our webmaster Frank Barberlace, Sue Cassandra, Art Lauschat, Samantha Bentley, and me, I'm May Chin.
A couple of weeks ago, I experienced my first taste of snowmobiling. I would love to try this now.
This was the entrance to Sherwood Forest, but Bill wouldn't let us go any further. Instead, he wants to explain.
We are at the entrance of Sherwood Forest now. We're not going to go anymore because the sun is kind of coming down. Chuck, leave your shot wide like that. Come around. I want the audience to kind of see how the sun is sort of setting up here in the trees behind us. And then come back over this way. The trail we just came down is this one here. Girls, step this way with me, please. This is the trail we just came down, and up until this point, all the way from Frank's Marine, we haven't had any choices. There haven't been any turnoffs other than to go to Whitewater. We didn't want to go to Whitewater. We were going to Sherwood Forest. Now here we come to a fork in the road, and this is where it gets complicated. And Chuck, come on with me. This is where it gets complicated, and I've been here before in the middle of the night. Now if you notice, we can make a right turn here. We can make a left turn here, and if we didn't know where we'd been coming from, we've got this thing over here that we could have turned at.
Isn't there a map right there?
Ah, that's good. Come on, Chuck. Girls, come with me. That's exactly what there is, and I'll tell you what happens here in the middle of the night. Because what I want to tell you about Sherwood Forest is, you see this intersection here? There are literally hundreds of these intersections in here where you can make choice after choice after choice and be lost in a maze forever. It's hundreds of acres of intersecting trails and all that. Yes?
How many maps are there? Is there a map at each location of the end?
There's lots of them, and what you end up seeing in the middle of the night is snowmobilers doing this. A whole crowd of them with a flashlight or matches, and they're going like this, and then a half an hour later you find them in another one, and they're going like this and like this. Nobody can figure their way out of the maze. Trust me, nobody can figure their way. If you're not familiar with this trail system, you don't go in here at night, because if you do, you may never get out. In fact, if you look around a little bit, you'll probably see some skeletal remains.
Aren't you an expert at it now?
Well, I'm an expert at it now, and I'm going to tell you something. I would come in here anytime because it is so cool. Now, we're done with the show, girls. What do you think of the trails?
It was absolutely beautiful, Phil. I'm so glad I came.
Okay, first time snowmobiling.
Yes, it is.
Peggy, you've been snowmobiling before, but these are some pretty cool trails.
They're awesome. Just spectacular.
Gloria?
Wonderful.
First time for you. Did you have any trouble handling the sled at all?
Not at all.
She's already got a favorite sled, though.
She's already got a favorite sled. Okay, folks, I think we're done here in Whitewater. This is Sherwood Forest, and again, Chuck, take your camera shot around there, stay full wide, just show the audience. This goes for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles.
It was so beautiful that we would have loved to have gone into the forest and maybe onto Whitewater, but Bill said it was starting to get dark and we had to work our way back. Besides, we're out of time with only enough left to acknowledge the fine work of our award-winning production team, including Chuck Itzenthaler, John Papke, Lisa Ferguson, and Tom McGrady. Special thanks to JBTV's Jerry Bryant. Music is created for us by Fireside Recording Studio in Westchester, Illinois, and by independent artists Roger Pauley and Jerry Herbert. Of course, we have to take a moment to thank the stars of this edition of Motorsports Unlimited. Susan Russell.
Don't forget about me. I'm Patty Borowitz.
Bill Wildt. Me, I'm Peggy O'Donnell, hoping we have a chance to go back to Whitewater this season and take you into Sherwood Forest. Bill says if it's at all possible, we'll do it. We girls are keeping our fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located on Ashland Avenue at 138th Street in Blue Island, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from Bridgestone Firestone and your local Bridgestone Firestone tire retailers.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wildt, president of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from Copy That, located in the County Farm Plaza at County Farm Road and Army Trail Road in Carroll Stream, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from J.C. Whitney & Company, located just off I-80 at the Utica exit in LaSalle, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from Jimmy's Red Hots, located on Grant Avenue and Pulaski Road in Chicago.
Motorsports Unlimited was created to raise public consciousness, understanding, and appreciation of the motorsport community and their activities. You can contact us by email at msutv.com, or you can write to Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois, 60666. We enjoy hearing from our audience. Please let us know what you think.
Next week on Motorsports Unlimited, we're taking you back to Whitewater, Wisconsin to show you Sherwood Forest. By the way, in case it wasn't clear, you get to Whitewater from Chicago by taking Route 12 northwest all the way to Whitewater, Wisconsin. It takes about 2 hours from downtown Chicago and is the nearest thing you'll find to going up north. Join us next week on Motorsports Unlimited and check it out.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wildt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye, and keep on rocking.